Glock 19. But not just any Glock 19. This is one I've been waiting for quite a while. This is a custom Glock 19, more specifically, a copper custom Glock 19. What makes it so special is that this gun has been completely robar coated, the slide, all of the internal components, barrel, mag catch, even the pins, and the takedown catch. Everything coated with robar for a beautiful and maintenance-free finish. But that's not all they do to it. They replace the stock slide stop with a Vickers tactical slide stop, and then it gets robar coated. All of the pins get robar coated, as you can see there. The sights have been replaced with Ameriglow Spartan sights. These are tritium, so when you don't have the benefit of that big orange dot with ambient light, you get a nice glowing 3-dot sight picture in total darkness. The other thing they did was they modified the grip frame by providing an even deeper undercut at the back of the trigger guard. When I first saw that they were going to do that to the pistol, I was a little skeptical and quite honestly a little bit afraid of what that was going to look like. But boy, this looks like it was done at the factory. That is a beautiful quality cut. And it really does get your hand up in there. So I think Copper Custom has done just about everything you can possibly do to a Glock to make it the best Glock it can possibly be. Except for maybe one thing. No, not that. I mean this. Add a rubberized Talon grip to it. For that, you're going to pay about $1,000 for this Glock 19. So that's a lot of money for a Glock 19. And I looked around for some reviews when I thought about supporting Copper Customs and buying this gun from them. And I really was interested and want to give it a try. And I tried to find some information online, and there really isn't much of any. So you may also be aware that Copper Customs is affiliated with the Military Arms channel, or MAC, as that channel is very well known on YouTube. One of the most popular channels on YouTube. So I was kind of surprised that there was really no reviews on these Copper Customs pistols. Then I thought about it a little bit. I thought, well, you know, if any of the other big channels review this gun, it's just going to look like one friend saying a good thing for another friend. And nobody's going to take it seriously. So I don't know any of these guys, and I probably never will. So, you know, it gives me a little bit of freedom to review this gun objectively, and that's what I'm going to do. So, again, it is expensive. It's a lot of money to spend for a Glock. Is it worth it? What do you get for it? You know, aside from just the parts list. Well, I'm going to shoot it a bunch, as much as I can today in the snow. Hopefully I won't lose all my brass. And I'm going to carry it a lot. I've already been carrying it. I don't know. I'll find out. I will tell you what I think. Okay. Copper Customs, Glock 19. Very first shots. That was Freedom Munitions, by the way. Putting the inaugural shots through this gun with 115 grain Freedom Munitions. Moving on now to some Herders Select. Also 115 grain. Good break-in stuff. This is the first time that I've used a gun with these particular Ameriglo sights, the Spartan. I really like them. I'm used to Ameriglo sights and I like them anyway, but it gives you a nice sight picture. That big orange dot is awesome. I got a lot going on here today. I'm also carrying this gun in a Stealth Gear Flex holster, which is a brand new offering from Stealth Gear. I was actually a beta tester. This is the second Stealth holster that I've had. I tested the first one for a while. They made some changes. They sent me a new one, and that's the one they've stuck with. So this is the Stealth outside the waistband holster. And new gun, new holster. If that wasn't enough, the grips that I put on here are the Talon rubberized grips, but they are also in beta testing. This is a new material that Talon is working out, and they're looking for feedback. I'm just the guy to give it to them. So we got a lot going on. And of course, the wonderful thing about Glocks, they take all the mags. 17 round 9mm magazine. This is the Magpul PMag 17 rounder for Glock, and this is pre-recall. So this is actually one of the ones that is theoretically defective. I left one like that on purpose just to continue testing it. So let's see how it does. No problem. There is just one accessory that the folks at Copper Customs forgot to put on this Glock 19, but I took care of that. So like I said, they also coat the barrel and the feed ramp. So let's see how it feeds Tula. One of the things I'm able to, it's warmed up enough that I can take my gloves off, at least for a bit. So one of the things I want to see is whether the row bar makes the slide so slick that it's hard to rack it. Obviously I've done dry practice, but you know, live fire is always something a little different. I like the Vickers slide stop. Yeah, that's just great. Spend over $1,000 on a Glock 19 and lose it. Where is it? Gotta be around here someplace. Jeez. Wait a minute. Alright, that area looks a little smushed down. I think I remember being over here. Oh yes. There we go. Alright, well, the Military Arms channel loves to throw stuff in the snow and then see if it'll shoot, so let's make sure there's no barrel obstruction. Get the snow out of the trigger guard here. Alright, well, let's see if it'll shoot. And of course, I'm going to have to use my weak hand because I'm holding the camera with my strong hand. Yepper. So there it is. After the first 100, which I stretched out to 250, and if the weather had been nicer, probably would have kept going until I was at 500. Sitting in the Stealth Gear Flex holster, which is a topic for another day, but it's definitely, these two are going to spend an awful lot of time together. So after the first 100, just a couple of quick wrap-up thoughts. I will come back later with a follow-up, at least one, maybe some comparisons down the road, but I will definitely do a follow-up. I'm planning to shoot some IDPA matches with this gun. I really want to try it under a little more stressful circumstances, or just a little bit more difficult circumstances, if you will. See if I can quantify the value of the customization of this pistol. And when you're just standing in a square range shooting at a paper target, it's harder to do that. But if I can get it out and shoot some matches with it, I think that's going to give me a little bit more to discuss. So again, the big difference between this and your standard out-of-the-box Glock 19 is the row bar finish. I mean, the thing was a joy to shoot, and and all that, but it's a Glock 19, and I don't think the actual shooting experience was a whole lot different than any out-of-the-box Glock 19, except that, man, I would swear, and I could be wrong, but I would swear that this thing just felt like the action was smoother and that it shot flatter because of it. But again, I'd have to have another Glock 19 Gen 4 side by side, and to get a better idea for that. So Copper Customs partners with Robar to provide this customization, and the finish is Robar NP3. And NP3 is basically a nickel-based finish that is applied to the pistol, and that nickel-based finish contains like what they call sub-micron level Teflon particles, and that Teflon embedded in there or impregnated in there really is what gives you that lubricity. And so the idea is that you don't even need to oil this gun, and that it's going to make the gun run better, last longer, and just be more effective overall, and be easier to clean and have to clean less frequently. So that's the idea behind the Robar coating. It's also going to resist any kind of corrosion, the introduction of any material that would cause corrosion, like water and sweat and all the usual suspects. So those kinds of quantitative things are going to only be able to show themselves over time. I will say it was kind of cool when I dunked it in the snow and pulled it up out of the snow and let the sunlight hit it. The way the water beat it up on it, like a freshly waxed Ferrari. So that was kind of neat. Again, my first thoughts after the first 100 are I like it a lot. I'm still gonna withhold for a bit my yay or nay on whether I think it's worth whether there's value there for what you spend. I'm inclined at this point to say yes. And that's my gut feeling at this point, is that it does feel like there is value here for what you're spending. But after I get a little bit more serious work out of this gun, expose it to some different conditions, then I'll come back and I think I'll make a more definitive opinion about that. So one thing I did find out, unfortunately, and the hard way, was that the Robar coating is not impervious to scratching or even minor irritation. You can see those scratches right there underneath that Copper Custom logo. And let me rotate this around. You can see this mar at the top of the slide. Let me get a finger on here for you. Right there. Those were both caused by a really crappy CompTac holster that I had shoved to the bottom of my bin and wasn't using, and now I remember why. Unfortunately, took that to remind me. But so anyway, if you expect the Robar NP3 finish to be some sort of magic shield, it will not be. You're still going to have to take care of it.